Looking to Bice Oval for the second clash, the doubleheader out here today. Southern Districts taking on West Torrens. Southern Districts yet to chalk up a win in the 2020 comp. And West Torrens have split the ledger with a 1 win, 1 loss. Michelle Khan's going to bowl the very first over. Bailey Capel gets a wide on outside off stump, which he cracks through point. And good way to start for West Torrens. Boundary off the first ball. They were sent in. Southern Districts won the toss and elected to bowl. Young Michelle Khan for a boundary off the first ball, which has instantly brought a adjustment in the field. He's made that short fine, stay where he is. That one Fuller on target, and Bailey Capel in behind it. Can't again outside off stump. Too wide. Don't get much leeway in the 2020 format. Turns to the top of his mark. Charging again to Khan. Capel thought about shooting off for the quick single, decided against it. His partner at the other end, Pat Fisher. Scores of just 10 and 14 for Pat. Capel 33 in his first game and then 8 in the last game that we covered against Sturt. That one's short and he liked the look of the pull shot. Q ended it, only went back as far as Khan. So he's tightened things up after the first ball. Out of the Lehman Academy, I'm led to believe. If he could take that first ball back, he certainly would, because it's been pretty tidy after that. Slingy action. Short and wide, fade away through a third man. And again, it's going to go for runs, 4 of them. Anything wide, Bailey Capel happy to throw his bat at. Races away. Well, he gets himself motoring in that first over. Moves up to 8. And with the boundary, West Torrens are 9. See that last one again. It's a bit wider of off stump than the previous balls that he was bowling. Probably just threw his hand through it. Caught the outside edge of the bat and raced away. So Ben Toohig is going to open up the bowling, the Englishman. The quicks at one end. And spin from the other. Okay. Start from Ben Toohig. The off he's zeroing in on the leg stump. Big shout, that one turned down by Darren Swain. Back down the ground. There's Pat Fisher. Just sort of bunted it back over Ben Toohig's head. Got back for two. A cracking sound off the bat. Probably thought he'd done enough to get himself four. And well bowled and well played. Gives himself some room, does Fisher. But two goes up to the challenge. Ends the over, a good one for the Stingrays. Ring the changes here. Crowd filling up nicely. They come along and support their the local side, the Southern Districts Cricket Club. It's going to be Samak Jain into the attack. You see that open spaces here at Bice Oval. We stacked offside field. Three inside the ring there, saving the one. You're going to about to see two more come in a shot who've just moved the sight screen. The right armour gets cracked through the covers first ball, so on both occasions, both overs. Bailey Capel has hit both of these opening batsmen for four to get started. Putting the pressure on Samak early. Might get another look at this one. He's right in his slot. Back live. Again, same sort of may as well have been the replay. It's gone well. This one a bit straighter. Back-to-back boundaries for Bailey Capel. 3 already. Samak Jain is now under real pressure early in this his first over. Again, Capel strong on the front foot. This time couldn't beat the cover fielder. He's happy to bowl that line on length. Bailey Capel's happy to try to blast him through there. Southern District's winning the toss and putting West Torrens in on what looks to be a green track, but no real demons in it. Playing on the rise. In cover doing all the work. Adelaide live stream bring you all of the action here. Capel edges, goes through the vacant slip cordon. We go down to third man. Fielder down there. And they get back for 2. So he's moving along nicely. Ends another over. An expensive one. Maybe Warren Peters has seen enough. Going to bring himself into the game. Bailey Capel, fine form early. See, they were the first of them blasted through cover. Next ball went a bit straighter. Matt Sugg into the attack. Starts with a dot. This one gets straight through Fisher. The change in bowling has worked. He's picked up Pat Fisher, went straight through him. You'll see here in the replay. Tried to cut one, wasn't really there. Backed away and really chopped it onto his own leg stump. First one goes down. Started well though, West Torrens. And on the back of Bailey Capel, they'll be looking just to keep motoring along here. They lose their first wicket, 21 the score. That's Suggs' first wicket in this campaign. Didn't get a wicket in the first 2 games. But his skipper will be pretty happy that he's made an impact straight away. Brings Daniel Drew to the crease. On the back of a 64 not out in the first game. He's averaging 66 in this comp. This one's short from Sagan. It slapped through covers for 4 more, so just dealing in boundaries here, West Torrens. Fast outfield. Anything that's loose, happy to play their shots at. Raman, who's now faced only 2 balls, played that like he's been out there for 50. This one a bit fuller, can't beat point. Change in the field here. Point's going to go out. Long on's going to come back inside the circle. Of course, still with the fielding restrictions inside the power play. You can see long off the back of your picture. Sugg to Drew. Jams down on a full ball. It can't get through for a run. Ends the over. A successful one for Matt Sugg. West Torrens 1 for 25. Blistering start here by Bailey Capel. He's off and running. Samak Yane's going to continue. Capel again driving hard. Good work at cover. Stop what could have easily gone for 4. Gets the 1. 4 boundaries already in his 19. Took 10 runs off the first over of Samak Yane. I think I'm saying his last name correct. Could be Gene. I'll go with Yane. Wide and smacked into the ground, fielded at point. Man, they just sort of squared up there. Just back of a length. Would love another early wicket here. The Stingrays. Yane bounces in, but the pull shot's a good one. Thunders into the sideboards. It's a cracking shot. Didn't look quite as comfortable as you would have thought. You'll see the replay. Got all of it. One bounce into the boards. Made a hell of a noise. This time he goes back behind square, not intentionally. Capel caught him through for the one. Good response from Samak. And again, full driving square is Capel. We've got the sweeper out there now, deep on the boundary, keeps it a one. Ends the over. Didn't think it was the end of the over, waiting for the bowler to pick up his cap, but fielding without a cap on. And notice there's a couple of them out there. Michelle Khan, the other one out there without the cap on. But Daniel Drew to continue. In fact, Matt Sugg, that's the name I was looking for. Took a wicket in his last over, which was his first. That one on the money outside off stump, no run. Been a good start from Matt Sugg. The Stingrays need it because on the back of Bailey Capel, West Torrens have started at a good clip. Trying to heave that one over square leg. Bailey Capel was right in his zone. He just wanted to club it in the cow corner. More conventional, goes down the ground. Gets himself one more. Halfway through the sixth over. Paul Bonzo walks into the box. And I've caught him mid-drink, which is always beautifully timed.
Afternoon, Pickles. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're enjoying Adelaide live stream, bringing you West End T20 Cup. So, just I guess a good start to this contest. Pretty even at this stage.
Sugg to Drew. Drew swats it. Back down the ground. Is now just going to walk the one. We wanted to go squarer than that. We've got the deep fielders set down the ground. The way he played that shot certainly wasn't something I thought he was looking to go down the ground with.
Last over of the power play. Last ball of the power play, in fact, coming up.
Capel on the march. He tried it once. The second time he didn't miss out. Clipped it over the top of square leg for six.
Got every little piece of that one.
He has opened up this innings sensationally as Bailey Capel. You'll see here. Gets a cross outside off. And hoiks it all the way onto the dog track. Eventually it gets retrieved. Good way to finish up the power play, Bonds.
Certainly was, mate. And just hearing out of one ear, there's a Barbie about to be fired up just next to us here.
Having some
locals.
major esky issues.
So I'm going to change a bowler here for the Stingrays. Mitch Cumming is going to come in.
He's a big boy.
Number 10. His best figures this year of 2 for 22. Good old Richie. He's going to be bowling to the West Torrens captain, Daniel Drew. So it's a long off, long on. Bit of leg spin from this end. One short and dropped. Shot, would have been an outstanding catch, wouldn't it, there at backward point.
You had to make up some ground to get to it and then dive. Couldn't complete the final play.
This one short again. I think he hit a little bit uppishly too by Drew, but no danger this time. Down to long on. Picks up the single.
I saw the size of him earlier today, Mitch, coming when he was around the commentary box. I wouldn't have picked him as a leg spinner, Bonds. About 6'3", 6'4". Solidly built.
Change in the field here.
We could be in the firing line here. Bailey Capel, the left-hander, on strike to the leg spinner. And he loves to go sideways.
One playing a miss. It's the wrong end. So there's a long off, a long on. There's a deep mid wicket and a deep square leg. Two inside the circle, behind square and behind point. That one's thrown up, big appeal, and he's out. He's been given. He went down to sweep, missed the ball, and Capel is gone.
Captain brought the leggy into the attack after the power play in his first over. Thundered into his front pad. Eloise didn't take too long to give that one out. Good bowling, good captaincy.
I think he might have even missed the front pad and gone through and hit the back leg. But the leggy into the attack and has got the very, very valuable wicket of Bailey Capel, who was starting to look very dangerous.
Yeah, giving them the fast start that they needed. Let's have another look at this. See if we can pick up which pad this does hit. It might be right, might have gone past that front pad.
So a new player to the crease for West Torrens. Lucky Poynton. We saw this guy come in late against Sturt, and some rear guard action from him. He batted well when wickets were falling all around him.
Put on 37 in that one.
This one outside off underneath edge. He's going to get off the mark with that one. Just a single.
Cat up in the scissor lift, giving us all the best shots here. Doing a great job.
That one thrown up, and again very well bowled, as you might have heard from his teammates. Ends a good over from Mitch Cumming. Gets the wicket of Capel during that one. And at the end of that over, West Torrens 2 for 42 after 7 pick.
Yeah, would you be happy at the moment if you're in the West Torrens dugout with the start?
I think they'd be reasonably happy, but maybe would like that wicket back.
Yeah, would have loved Bailey Capel to still be out there. But plenty of overs to go and plenty of time for these two to get themselves set and motoring. As far as the Stingrays are concerned, they were probably up until that last over. They wouldn't have been overly happy, but now they are.
Yeah, I think they're reasonably happy. The score reasonable at this point. Those two vital wickets.
The man who was flying back in the sheds. Be another change in the bowling from this end, from the northern end, we'll call it.
It's Braden Gator. See what Braden's going to dish up. This one on his leg stump. Just worked to mid-wicket, no run.
Teammates' encouragement. I thought I would have heard Ali rather than Gatesy.
Playing a miss, an appeal. Half interested. There must have been a noise there. Lucky Poynton still there. Creaky bat handle maybe.
Did he get away with one? Wasn't a massive shout, was it? It was shout and hope maybe.
This time, full ball, well bowled.
They've dragged the back here with a couple of tight overs. If Braden Gator can finish this one off. It's coming a good one. On the back of another successful one, and now Braden Gator has followed that one up as well.
Just time to cover. Deep cover, that is. Just one. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. Pickles and Bonds in the commentary box with you. This West End T20 Cup game. Local cricket live, thanks to Adelaide Live Stream. This time, half a step down the track goes Drew and drives it out to the sweeper. So rotate the strike. You think Pickles, these two will just want to build a little bit of a partnership here.
Use and work the gaps. Knock up some ones and twos before they relaunch.
This time, over the top of the slip area, but there's a third man in place, so just another single to Poynton. Ends the over from Gator. Good opening one for him. Just a couple of it. Off it, West Torrens. Now, 2 for 44.
And out today, Bailey Capel for 27, and Pat Fisher went real early. To Matt Sugg, he made just 2. It's going to be Mitch Cumming again. The leggy took a wicket in his last one.
Down the track. And well fielded. Short cover. Bowled him, straight through him. This is great stuff from Mitch Cumming.
Such on the back foot, tried to glide it through to third man, but it was on him before he knew it. You'll see here, looked at it out the front of the hand. Before he had a chance to play his shot, it was on him and not in the top of off, exactly where you want to hit. If you get another look at it, you might see pushed it right out the front. So third one goes down. Southern's probably now move ahead if it was a neck-and-neck horse race. 2 overs, 2 wickets. It's been a big move. You bring the leggy on, it's worked.
Warren Peters, the next one in for West Torrens. We'll just have another look at that dismissal. Well, it's been a toppy. And certainly not picked by Poynton. And Poynton had to go. So Warren Peters for West Torrens now at the crease with his team in a little bit of trouble. This one tossed up and Peters is off the mark straight away. Thought about the second. This one again to Braden Gator. Just the single again.
To those last 2 singles, did have the figures of 2 for 2. Mitch Cumming. You're doing well if you can keep up with that rate.
Work to the leg side this time for another single. But there's some good bowling here from Mitch Cumming. 2 wickets already.
They're giving nothing to hit. And looking really, really menacing here.
That one driven. Get another single. Ends another very good over from Mitch Cumming. Stingrays on top at the moment after 9 overs. West Torrens 3 for 49.
So now the new pair at the crease who are going to be trying to do what we said the last pair would be trying to do, which is knock it around and just rotate the strike, get some runs on the board, build some partnerships. But that just goes without saying. Braden Gator to continue. To Drew, it's outside off stump and he pushes it to long off. They get through for 1. Brings Warren Peters on strike. Enjoying themselves over there, the Southern District supporters crew. Peters gets a full one wide. Just glides it down to third man, takes the 1. So continue to rotate the strike, just with ones, finding gaps. They won't be able to afford too many more wickets in the very near future. That one, full Yorker length. Drew couldn't dig it out and beat the field. A different game since Bailey Capel's been dismissed. Oh, this time down the track he goes. Got the inside edge, beat the keeper. Might go all the way for 4, and does. Right underneath Cat there. Not going to get closer vision than that. Daniel Drew got on the bike. He hopped down the track, got the inside edge. Just saw there, just beat the diving keeper in Barrett. And that's much needed boundary.
Safest shot in cricket, the French Cup. Good comeback, wasn't it?
He either hit his own toe or Gator has landed one flush on the toe. Daniel Drew has worn that one. He's not happy with it. Not the first injury we've seen here today. We've seen Brooke Harris in the earlier game go off with a bad back. We saw what we thought was maybe a knee pop out in the outer side. Drew this time. Put some pressure on the man at short cover. Created the misfield. Got through for 1. He looks to be on the attack here, Daniel Drew, walking down the track.
Well, 10 overs gone now, Pick. And only 55 on the board. Even 10 and over from here only gets them to 150.
Which would be their highest score so far, 145 and 141 in the 2 previous games that they've played. 145 was enough to beat Woodville, but 141 was the game last week that they lost to Sturt. And conversely, the Stingrays, they lost with 145 to Adelaide and also 129 to Kensington. So if they could get to either of these sides, get to 150, you'd think that they'd fancy themselves to have a win under their belt. Southern Districts would love their first win.
Ben Tuig coming into the attack now from Worcestershire.
He's just about been hit back to Worcestershire as Ben Tuig. First ball was a rank long hop, full bunger.
No ball.
And it's a no ball. So there's going to be a free hit. So
5 runs.
So not the greatest of starts. 5 off his first ball.
And he's still yet to bowl a ball. And he's got another one to come. That one's short. Got the same treatment. Might have got some more. It did. 2 more than the first one. So his introduction into the attack has been as costly as it possibly could be. First one was full. The second one was the overcorrection. Someone's stolen my car and driving around there, that looked like. If you could park it out the way. And Daniel Drew's going. And now, just to make it even more awkward for the bowler, he gets to watch his teammates go and search for the ball.
So he's bowled 1 legal ball and he has no wicket for 11.
And it's been lost.
And he's lost the ball, yes. So just looking for the ball here. Lost in the bushes somewhere. Umpires, grade cricket have a box of balls ready to go, you'd think. See a replay here. The overcorrection just far too short. And almost through the car window. And it's in there somewhere.
Best of luck. A bit of a hush on the Stingray supporters group to our right.
Just taking it all in, enjoying the sun. Beautiful day down here at Bice. So we'll have a quick look at the wickets so far. First to go was Paddy Fisher. It's played on. Then Bailey Capel came in, who's hitting the ball well, and then played across the line of one. Hit him on the back leg, and he was out LBW. And then second over for Mitch Cumming. Produced this one. Top of off stump. Thanks very much.
Looks like they've either found the ball or found something that said this will be the ball.
It took 4 of them to find it, but they found it. Well done, men.
Giving it back to Darren Swain to get the all clear. He said, yep, you can keep bowling with that. So in all that time that's been going on, and Tuig's had been able to stand at the top of his mark, try to think and work out where do I bowl the next one to get myself in the game.
Poor old Ben Tuig. It's his first game, debut for the club. This one's a bit better.
Daniel Drew just gets himself off strike after the 6 and the 4. Get myself at the other end. Let the heart rate get back down. Peters now charges down the track, whips it off his toes nicely. Man out there on the boundary. Keeps it to 1. They might have targeted him before the match. Let's get into the new boy straight away. Put him under pressure. Wide outside off stump. Drew can't beat mid off. Something yarn. That one a better line and length. Peters down the track. The drive. It's 1 to mid on. Ends the over. Very good one for West Torrens. They score up to 3 for 71. After Southern Districts won the toss and put them in.
Better over from West Torrens. I'll be happy with that.
Got a shot at the scoreboard there. It was a mile ahead of everyone else.
On account of that 6 twice, I think.
Yeah, we might
scoreboard attendant.
Might know something we don't know about this next ball.
Yeah, oh well. Dave has just said that it's first time today he's been correct. No, selling himself short there, doing a fantastic job. And Sean Tanner is going to come on from the northern end.
Peters just tucks around the corner for the 1. Left arm offie into the attack. Normally used as a little run rate handbrake. Dart these in towards leg stump. But Daniel Drew is well and truly into his work now. Can't beat mid-wicket. He won't be looking to be contained. I get the feeling he is going to swing at anything he gets a chance to. Gave himself room but couldn't do so. Currently 32 is Drew from just the 26 balls faced. Now backs away. Gets it through the infield and the outfield. 4 more. Been a great innings so far from him, Daniel Drew. You'll see him here, back away, Bonds. Opened it up.
Yeah, a little bit short, and that ball sort of kept down a little bit too, so maybe the track's not as easy to bat on. We saw a couple in the women's game.
Drew this time the sweep shot, gets it all the way, 4 more, back to back. Not the first time we've said that. Kept them interested. Right in front of the supporters crew. But it looked 4 off the bat. Got a real good piece of it. Kept the Stingrays chasers involved just enough.
I was going to say in the women's game we saw a few just sort of holding the pitch and a few leading edges. Maybe there's just a bit of up and down about this deck.
Girls were smart. Girls were saying it was getting a bit slower and lower as they go.
Drew this time along the ground and mid-on. Takes the 1.
And our man on the spot, David Kemp here from Southern Districts, who's helping us out today in the box. So just let us know that the girls thought as the ball got a bit softer, the track got a bit slower and lower. So it got a bit harder to score runs as the ball got a little bit older. So maybe a score of 130, 140 is going to be very competitive on this track. So yeah, someone who is very competitive, it's Mitch Cumming. Figures a 2 for 6 at the moment, I believe.
Yeah, they were destroyed in the last over. He started that over 2 for 2.
2 overs, 2 for 6. He's coming in again. That one almost squeezed through again. Daniel Drew was late on it, made the decision to try and glide it down to third.
Cut it out of the keeper's gloves.
This time, cut to point, chance at the bowler's end. Direct hit might have found him in a bit of trouble, but Peter's home safely. Lovely delivery again from Drew. Drew Cumming, I should say. One's a bit quicker. Back down the track. Mitch Cumming couldn't quite gather it in. Sean does the fielding there. Got some pace around the outfield, the youngster.
Yeah, it gets motoring.
This one short. Peter's inside edges it the square leg. Rotates the strike once more. Lovely bowling again. So that ends the over from Mitch Cumming. And West Torrens, after 13, a 3 for 85. And about to put their foot on the pedal, Pickles. So these two have put on 40 now. Built a nice little partnership here. So a couple of the spectators here at Bice Oval.
Going along about 7 and over, and Mitch Cummings' figures of 2 for 10 off 3 look even better. Peters.
Tano appeals, he's caught behind. Got the edge. Outside off stump, Peters went back to cut, found the edge through to the keeper's gloves.
Kept a bit low again, another one that stayed down. So the reports we were having on the wicket have justified the analysis we've made as well. And that was a good replay to show it just kept down. Warren Peters had to make the adjustment. All he could do was get the edge on it, and in the end it was a good catch taken by Josh Barrett. Sean Tanner gets his first. He's taken 2 so far in this campaign, Bonds. A wicket in each of the other games that he's played. So he's keeps up his average of a wicket a game.
And just when West Torrens was starting to build a good partnership, and a wicket falls, and Nick Crouch has come to the centre for West Torrens. Looked a talented little player last time we saw him as well.
His role now just to get Daniel Drew back on strike.
And he does just that, turns it around the corner for a single. In fact, I'll think about 2, but decide against it. This is the West End T20 Cup, live from Bice Oval in Christie's Beach. Southern Stingrays doing battle with the Western Eagles. Now skipper Daniel Drew on strike. Down the track he goes. Drop kicks this one down the ground, and a very good catch taken in the outfield. We'll try and pick up who that is. It's an outstanding catch. Had to make a lot of ground. West Torrens lose another one.
Yeah, Tanner went after it. It's closing in on 50. But scooting around the outfield, as you said, diving to his right. With both hands around it. Well, when that pack clears, we'll tell you who that is, but it was a fantastic catch. And a timely one too. Daniel Drew out now. So how quickly the game turns. A couple of quick wickets, both batters that were in now out. And 4 for 86 quick turns into 6 for 86.
Let's have another look at that catch. Had to make a lot of ground. And very well done. Did well to keep it in the hand as the elbows hit the ground. So 5 wickets down for West Torrens now. Eric Carrington to the crease for the Eagles. Bowled again by Sean Tanner. That one cut forward a point. Bit of acrobatic fielding there.
Yeah, Brendan McCormack, I think it is, who took that catch, Bonds. Just waiting for some sort of verification. I got it from his number.
I was going to go with Brendan, but so Tanner again. Again, that one stays down. Work behind point. We'll get a couple here. But once again, you see how low that kept. It was almost like it's going downhill. Ends the over, a successful one. West Torrens, the end of that over. Now 5 for 89.
Hey, fortunately for them, is that they get to bat on it first. They get to find all these things out. Whether or not that changes who they may or may not bowl in their innings.
Nice little crowd here, as we said. Beautiful day.
A few of the ladies have hung around.
So Mitch Cummings going to come in to bowl his final over. Has the figures of 2 for 13. Tossed that one right up. Full toss and got away with one there.
He's bowled well enough today that he's going to be able to get a loose one in there.
This one driven out to the sweeper for a single. We might have seen Spencer Johnson come in at the fall of the last wicket, but not to be. Eric Carrington is the man they sent in. Slip in now. Play and a miss. Great bowling.
It's been a real impressive spell of bowling from Cumming.
This one's worked out to the sweeper. It's come down the track a few steps and played out there to Braden Gator. Patrolling the offside. This one back and cut. Another single.
But close in, or close out his spell, Bonds. I'm not sure that he's gone for a boundary.
No, I don't think he has. This one to point. Bit of hesitation in the field. Direct hit, but I thought about it a long time.
I'm still thinking, yes.
I thought, look safely home from here. And in the end, that's the way it was. Ends a really good spell from Mitch Cumming. 2 wickets. And after 15 overs, West Torrens 5 for 93.
Yeah, it was a different game before he came on. He picked up Bailey Capel. And then from there, he just kept turning the match, kept taking wickets, kept it quiet. 5 overs to go. Tanner drops it a touch short. Savik Jean, as you said, is a real pacey man out there on their boundary. picked it up and got it in a hurry. Kept it down to 1.
Confirming Mitch Cummings' figures of 2 for 14 off his 4.
Tanner again gets through him. He's picked up a 3rd. Might have either chopped that one on or it kept even lower. End result is Nick Crouch has got to walk off with his stumps all over the place. Replay's probably going to show that he's just dragged that one back on.
Again, not much bounce though, Piggles. So if you're playing back on this track, beware. It's just skidding on and keeping low.
You might see West Torrens bowl maybe 1 or 2 more spinners who weren't going to line up to bowl.
Certainly been very effective, the Stingrays slow bowling. 6 for 94 and in a bit of trouble.
And this looks to be the man you called for. And Spencer Johnson. Big levers, swings through the arch. Yet to get a bat sponsor. Looking for one of those.
I was just about to say.
Yep.
Is anyone watching, any bat manufacturers watching the Adelaide live stream? There's an opportunity for you.
Spencer's waiting for you. Looks like he hadn't even got a grip on there. Just one piece of wood.
Carved out of a tree in his backyard.
Yes. So Johnson's going to take guard. Tanner now the destroyer.
This time, drop kick. He's out there again and takes another catch. Inside the boundary, Brendan McCormick. The 7th one for West Torrens goes down. And not really the best shot in the book, that one.
Certainly not first ball. Just swang at it straight to the man out there. McCormack sitting underneath it, takes his 2nd catch. Tanner gets his 4th wicket and finds himself on a hat-trick. So Spencer Johnson's start at the crease was a brief one. Lasted just the 1 ball. Isaac Johnson comes to the crease, but the man on strike to face the hat-trick is Eric Carrington. I don't know who would have taken too many. Sean Tanner, but he's on one now. Carrington just bunts one back past him. McCormack at long off, who's been his ally catching wise.
Oblivious to the pressure of the hat-trick ball was Carrington. Couple of steps down, just bunted it for a single.
And possibly so was the fielding side there. There was no change. So Isaac Johnson. Played that as awkwardly as he possibly could.
Even the follow-through was a bit awkward, wasn't it?
Yes.
He nearly fell over. His weight going forward.
Sort of gave the signal afterwards to Carrington, and I didn't know. This one is shorter, suits him more. Swats it through the leg side. Jean out there again, does the fielding, keeps it a 2. Good man to have out on the rope, sweeping. It'll take some hitting to get past him. Tanner's figures. Four for 17 off of his 3.
It's one hand on the best player on the ground award. 4 for 16 off 3 overs. He's got the West Torrens side in a mountain of trouble. So Braden Gators swapped ends. West Torrens have lost 4 for 9.
Fallen Carrington steals one to short cover. .97 the total. Still 4 runs. There's still 4 overs to go. So if they can keep these two together, you'd think that they could go at least at 8 and over. Gator, the length is perfect. Isaac Johnson couldn't get it anywhere other than just dig it out. Carrington took off like there was a single in it. He's either going to find himself in trouble or his teammate. That one's wide. And he's got away with that one. Isaac Johnson stares back down the track. But Eloise out there. Not sure how he got away with that one. Is Isaac. Made from Isaac Johnson, the long off, for just the one. They're still looking for their first victory here, Bonds, and be at the moment doing most things right. Run rate under 6. Carrington just glides it past the man at short cover, or short gully. Again, just the one run at this time of the innings. Normally you're wanting and seeing a few more boundaries float. Not on this occasion.
Brings up the West Torrens 100. 7 for 100. With some work to do in the last few overs.
Again, it's going to be another single, possibly 2. Thought about it, then thought better of it. The throw was a good one from Michelle Khan. Get the non-striker on his toes. 17 overs gone, 3 to go. Just ticked over the 100, as you said. And the total that you could eyeball from here, maybe 130 max.
10 and over off the last 3.
Issue being the 7 wickets that are already in the shed. Sean Tanner to continue the destroyer. Charging down, stumping opportunity. Did he keep the foot in? Somehow he has. Somehow Isaac Johnson, falling backwards and sideways, has kept that foot down below the crease. We'll get a good look at this here. It's out at that stage and just You had him off too fast. Tanner this time can't blast it through short cover.
Again, playing back to Tanner. It's dangerous work.
It's inviting the bold or the chop on. This time he elevates one through cover. Can he beat McCormack out there on the boundary? He can't. Maybe he did. Well, that's great work. Definitely saved 2 runs out there. That was 4 for all money. Opened the front leg, gave himself some room. Swung it over the top of long on. Get back for 2 more. Isaac Johnson giving himself plenty of room on every ball here. Which is going to bring around a change in the field. The third man's going to go out on the leg side. They're going to load up on the leg side. Another man from the off is going to come in. The one you've just seen there. Was it Point? Short Point is now coming to a short cover. And there's 3 out on the leg. So Johnson goes exactly where he made the gap. Great batting, Isaac Johnson. Forced the fielding change just behind Point. Once it was made, went straight through there.
Yeah, smart cricket. On the back foot. We said that's been dangerous, but he got enough on this one. Quick out that side. Rolled away to the boundary for 4.
Just about ran into each other in the middle of the wicket.
Driven down the ground. Just the one. Oh, I tell you what, that wasn't. The keeper's just grabbed the ball and young Eric Carrington went, oh, hang on a second. I better make my ground.
Josh Barrett can't believe just how close that was to the most unlikely of run-outs. May have only taken that centimetres above the bails.
Talk about the bowling of Sean Tanner for a second. 4 for 28 off his 4. Excellent spell from him. Broke the back of this West Torrens batting lineup.
A massive part of that 4 for 9 that you said.
So just 2 overs remaining. Braden Gator. That's a fully. That might be above waist height, is it? It's going to run down to the boundary for 4 in any case. So just signalled 4. Certainly up about waist height. Oh, for mine, that's every day over the waist height. And Isaac Johnson's just asking the square leg umpire exactly that.
If the signal that he got, Isaac Johnson, it was on the way down. He said, well, doesn't matter.
On the way down where? That one's slugged over mid-wicket. Great shot. 4 more.
He's come in and played this hitting roll perfectly. You see it again. Clears the front leg. Swings it through the onside. Slug, probably the perfect description.
Can Isaac Johnson get West Torrens to a competitive total? Trying his best here. This time driven straight to point.
Currently on 17 of just 14 balls, including 2 boundaries. That might update, and he might be more than that.
Do the reverse. Bit of confidence in Isaac Johnson. Just went the little reverse. No one at third.
Be better options for him to play it than that. You could have just glided off the face, but back live.
Full of ball, well bowled, but it's beat the backward point. Won't go for a boundary, but they'll come back for 2. Thought about the third. Changed their minds.
Seen some good outfielding here from the Stingrays.
Swing and a miss. Change of pace there from Gator, and that ends the over. So just 1 remaining. West Torrens now 7 for 120.
The highest score that they've posted, West Torrens, 145. Set in the victory over Woodville. And the highest score that Southerns have posted is 145 also. So if they can somehow come up with 25 runs off this over, they'll both know that they can both get that score.
Well, it's the Englishman into the attack again. His first ball today went for 11.
You do the math.
Which sounds impossible, but no, there was a no ball, and then a free hit, and then another boundary.
And about 10 minutes lost looking for the ball.
Ben Tuig. Bowled him. Well, that's better than his first ball in his first over. Straight through Carrington. And the Englishman's got a wicket.
Yeah, Carrington waiting for him. Again on him quicker than he thought. Yorked himself straight through him. And Ben Tuig will be much happier with the start of this over than he would have been with his first over. Gutsy captaincy to bring him back on for the last one, knowing that they're going to be absolutely swinging at everything. His first ball in his first over was real full, overly full. But this time he got it perfect.
Ben Williams, the new man in for West Torrens. Hope you're enjoying the coverage here on Adelaide live stream. The West End T20 Cup live from Bice Oval at Christie's Beach in South Australia. This time cut to backward point. Spin almost got Aidan Zammit there.
It's Ben Williams' first run in the competition so far.
We'll be wrapped with that.
He's taken a couple of wickets, but yet to chalk up a run. He's done that now.
So 4 balls remaining in the West Torrens innings. This time off the back foot, straight to the field. A chance for a runner here. Surely he's got to be gone. Not out.
Went the English option there of taking the ball in front of the stumps and dragging it back onto the stumps.
Just defeats the direct hit. That does.
Takes it out of the equation.
This time, he's played on. So it looked like he got a bottom edge on that, and it just rolled back onto the stumps. See if we can see it here. Oh no, it was stumped. That's why it took a while for the bails to come off. It's hard to see on the first vision.
He walked a long way across the front of his stumps to start with. And after he missed it, he almost kept walking.
So 2 wickets for the Englishman, Ben Tuig. 9 down West Torrens. And Logan Paston, the veteran. It does look a little bit like Dale Lewis. He comes to the crease at number 11. With just 2 balls remaining in the innings. He'll be looking for 2 boundaries. This one, there he goes, out to mid-wicket. Didn't quite get all of it. He'll pick up a couple, though. Last ball, here we go. Down the track again. He's played it behind square. This could go all the way. The chase is on, but it's going to beat both players. So West Torrens finish with a boundary. They will finish at 9 for 128 off their 20 overs. Is that enough, Pickles?
History will tell you that it's not, but you never know until both sides have batted on the surface.
Just a good bowling performance from the Stingrays. 2 in particular. Mitch Cumming, I thought, was outstanding. And Sean Tanner with 4 wickets. Pick of the bowlers, without question.
Yeah, that's the only thing that gives West Torrens a chance to wheel them in, is they know the sort of bowling that's going to be able to keep the runs down. But 128, not a huge score. Both of these sides can score more than that. They may very well do that when we come back to show you the run chase, which is 129 required. We'll come back for the chase of that score in about a half hour's time. Welcome back to Bice Oval for the run chase. 129 the target for the Stingrays. They won the toss. They sent West Torrens in the bowl. Early doors, it looked like they might have made the wrong decision. But then the slow bowlers took over. Pardon me, Mitch Cumming first. Took a wicket in his first over, and then Sean Tanner ripped the heart out of the middle order. Took 4 for 9, they did at one stage. And really put the handbrakes on. And have ended up now clawing it all the way back to what looked to be anything up and over 150. Now down to 129 is required. Spencer Johnson to bowl the first ball. They're away. Cormac glides one down the third man. It might be Nick Bowen. Joining me for the start of the second innings, Sam Tugwell. Tuggers, you think we've got ourselves a close run chase on our hands?
129 to get. It's certainly a great situation set up for entertainment. It's going to be a very good chase nonetheless. I think Josh Barrett's out there at the moment alongside Matthew Sugg. Apologies, Nick Bowen. So the skipper out there alongside him, Barrett, one of the more impressive young talents coming around the country at the moment. I'll say the country, not just the state.
Gets one through point, or backward of point. They've got a third man in as West Torrens, so it's just going to be the one. There's the equation at the bottom of your screen there. 128 required from 118 balls. And I said it through the women's game that was played earlier. Keep your eye on it because it changes, and it changes quickly. On wide and chopped on, and Spencer Johnson's got his first. Well, he lays his shot in the end, but the inside edge is cannoned in the middle stump, and West Torrens couldn't be any happier with that start.
Oh, you don't chop it on. It sucks. It really does suck in the first innings. As soon as you get a bit of bat on and you hear the bails come off, you know you've stuffed up big time. He just didn't commit to the shot at all. Half-hearted attempt, and already the first wicket falls early. Big loss for the Stingrays first over.
So one down, just in the first over. But in this format, they often lose one or two quickly. It's the ability of the side to get up and keep going.
So Sean Tanner, one of the veterans, has entered at number 3. Good with the ball, always generally very good with the ball, bowling his darts, but now out there with the bat. Averaging 16 in the T20 so far. Scored 30 not that long ago. Johnson off a length, had to go back and defend.
He turned the game when he had the ball.
Yeah, he certainly does. He's one of those players that really is an impact player, Sean Tanner. He's a bit of an X-factor player. There aren't many of them around, but you know them when they come in and play. They can pretty much change a game with the bat or ball at any stage in almost every game. They're just that sort of player. He's one of them.
This time Johnson angling on leg stump.
Bit of bat on that, I think, perhaps, as well as sliding a touch. First over, and we got figures of 1 for 2.
A good start from West Torrens. I'll be happy with that. So 127 required from 117 balls. They'll open up from the northern end. They're going to opt for the slow option. And that was what did all of the damage for the Stingrays.
Logan Paston's going to be coming into the attack here. Sonny's on. Something different.
Had the luxury of swing the arms late in the innings.
Yeah, managed to get a couple of good results across the rope.
Passed an outside off stump. Attempting to cut that one away was Barrett. Couldn't do so. Again outside off stump, but good work at short cover. So tidy start here from the veteran. The first three right on the spot.
Very good to Josh Barrett, who is a bit of an attacker, does love a boundary, gets going very quickly. You don't want to let him go.
This time goes straight down the ground, only as far as mid-off. Scamper through for one.
And just right there, the intent pretty clear. Make sure he can get off strike, rotate that strike, and keep scoring. One a ball essentially throughout is what's required. Already a pretty quiet first 2 overs for the Stingrays. They're going to need to pick it up a bit later on, but right here in the power play is the time you need to be finding your boundaries if you can. Early wicket doesn't help. Nick Bowen already in the shed.
So with the left-hander on strike, adjustments to the field. Logan Paston's going to bowl around the wicket. Beating point. So it's going to roll all the way. Just pulls up in front of the rope. Sigh from the Stingray supporters right in front of us. Couldn't believe that had happened. He got a hand on it, did Nick Crouch, just slowed it up. Late decision again to pull out. I heard Waite in the field. Someone not happy with fielding positions or where everyone was standing. Swing across the line, big shout. Not out the decision.
Big step forward, big step almost across as well. We'll see this again here. Sean Tanner. We're not straight on here, so it's a bit hard to see, but did look like it was fairly way forward as well. It was a good stride.
Asked for the full explanation, did Logan Paston. Wanted to know exactly why that wasn't out. Give me all the measurements.
So Spencer Johnson will continue. Got the innings underway. He now owns the third over with the ball in hand. Barrett facing up. Two good young guns going head to head. Shorter ball pulls him away. There's an open gap. And the square leg fieldsman on the boundary will cover that. Just the one, gets off strike.
So the 2 men out in the power play at the moment. On a deep square. And one deep third man.
Played inside edge. It's going to go into the leg side. And it will be fielded by Nick Crouch. 123 more of 107. It's just about won a ball earlier, now it's 7 and over. Already creeping up. 6 runs off the first 14 balls. Need that boundary or two here to really get them going. Has a crack at trying. Tanner's halfway down the wicket still, hoping for a sneaky run as the keeper has it in his hands.
That took off.
It did.
It hit the crease area.
Certainly generating a lot of pace and bounce here, Spencer, which is what you want to see.
Much birth through the keeper's gloves there.
Sean Tanner was halfway down the wicket from the other end, thinking it had gone through. Much fuller. Played to mid-on, who's quite wide, and that would be because it's mid-wicket.
You don't get much wider than that.
Yeah, when the fielder's hiding on your screen, you know, make do. So very good early on here from Johnson. Keeping it nice and tight. Good areas, good T20 areas. Field nice and close. We've actually got off screen here at point. I think it's Barrett who's must have split his bat or something here, so he's looking for a replacement if he can. They've
jammed down on the Yorker, I reckon, and
Yep.
done some damage to the end of the bat. Just going to swap that one over.
got a couple in the bag waiting to go. Gee, I wish I had that luxury. Couple of bats just in the bag.
Doesn't mean they're his.
They looked all the same.
Yes.
I think he's in a good place. Josh Barrett, he may have a little sponsor. He's got the GM pads and bat and gloves. I think he's set up by Gunn and Moore. Pulls away, doesn't get any of it. It's just popped up in front of him. TV can fool you. Looked like it might have run away to fine leg. In fact, it just popped up about half a metre from him in the popping crease. So how's this for a start? 1 for 7. Just about the end of the third over. You couldn't have asked for much more from your bowlers if you're West Torrens.
Yeah, power play runs are crucial. So if they're not getting the runs, they've got to at least keep the wickets in check.
Straight through to the keeper. End of the over. 7 from the first 3 overs. That is very well set up by the Eagles as they defend 129. Hopefully enjoying the coverage on Adelaide Live Stream. We're live from Christie's Beach at Bice Oval for the Stingrays and the West Torrens Eagles. Round 4 of the West End T20 Cup. And it's Sam Tugwell and Adrian Pickles calling the second innings here for you. Played into the offside. It's gone straight to mid-off, in fact, on the full, caught on his chest. And a wicket for Logan Paston. The second now falling for the Stingrays. And that's a big one in Sean Tanner.
You'll see it here again. Got to it, charged down, got to it on the full, just about. He half followed it straight to the fielder at mid-off. Their second wicket falls. We said if they aren't going to be scoring at a heavy rate in the power plays, you've got to maintain your wickets. Well, they've lost another one. And 3 overs in, 2 for 7. This Torrens will be very happy, but Tanner the man out. He's coming off the back of a 30 in the last game. Against Kenzie's.
Aiden Zammit will be the new batsman, just wandering out to the centre now. 2 crucial losses. Tanner and Bowen, 2 of their better bats. And now they have to make up with Aiden Zammit, who's coming in, top of the middle order, and a few more still to come. Plenty still in the sheds, but you lose 2 quality bats like that before you've even passed 10. You start to question where you might be at in this inning. So still 120 plus to go. Might as well be chasing 140. Run rate of 7 and over required. And they're going at 2.5. Play and miss. Oh, and straight through to the keeper's gloves the second time in a row. Same shot, same result. This time a little closer. Half shouts from behind the wicket. Very shaky up there. That one's played away. Through square leg, no one there. The man on the boundary has to try and stop it. His feet may have been over the line. No honesty system.
Oh.
That's a bit biased from me. Not quite. Probably did save it.
You wouldn't know where his feet were.
A bit of Kevin Durant from last night if you're an NBA fan. Defended straight back down the wicket. Three and a half overs, 9 runs here for the Stingrays. Have to start getting a move on. Driving to a short cover. 4 down. 2 for 9. Almost panic stations already for the Stingrays. They're going to have to really kickstart this innings because West Torrens are right on top here. Johnson and Paston have just been dominating so far. Need some answers.
It's going to be Spencer Johnson, who's come out of the attack now after a very good start, replaced by his namesake in Isaac Johnson. But the man in the middle, Aiden Zammit, who averaging 31 with 39 and 23 in his last game.
Just played the 2 games already with the rest of the group. They've pretty much kept the same side together, which is really good. The West Torrens guys. Same core group have played. Some teams don't have the luxury of having just about everyone play together for a few games in a row.
Johnson wide and blasted through cover. It's been overdue. It's eventually come.
That's from Barrett by the looks. That's well played through cover. That's what he does. He's attacking. He takes on the attack. It's well-deserved boundary. A little bit of discipline early, a little bit of tough times he's had to go through. Some good discipline bowling, gets through it, gets the 4.
This time just tried to glide it past the keeper. Be better off hitting those through cover.
Yeah, it almost looked a little too pretty, didn't it? Better length, though, that occasion by Johnson. Wasn't quite as full for him to get on the front foot and drill it through the covers.
Fuller again not fully committed to the stroke. You see here in the replay, just half waved the bat at it. Looked much better when he played positively through that cover region. Now tucks one through the leg side. Picks himself up 1. Brings Aiden Zammit on strike. First time he'll face at that northern end.
Yeah, left-hand, right-hand combination means the field has to change a fair bit. Something about right-hand and left-hand combinations that can be very frustrating for captains, especially in the short form where fielding is hard enough to get your positions in place quickly.
Had the bails off in a flash, looked for the umpire on the offside, but he was on the onside. May get a second look at it and see, did he get that back foot airborne? Was on the move, he did, lift it a little bit. It was moving if it was perfectly timed. Might have had his man.
Close, but not close enough. Umpire almost seemed very confident, just saying no, not going to worry.
Zamet can't beat cover. Ends the over. Good one from Isaac Johnson. His first for the day.
Look at that required run rate, really creeping up, 7.5 and over. It was around 6 to start with. You have to add an extra run and a half and over.
So that's how you get to 7.5 from 6?
Well, yeah, but I'm saying when you add it up, there's extra singles that you just don't get, those extra overs later. You know, it definitely piles on. This early pressure's been impressive. 14 runs from just the 5. One more over left until the power play is over, and then it could get really tough for the Stingrays if they're not careful. More about establishing an early partnership, but they're a quarter of the way through. They've hardly made a scratch. The two fielders back at long on and mid-wicket. So onside is nicely covered here for Logan. Played into the offside cover. Stops it. No run. Again, more dot balls. Too many dot balls for Southern as far as they're concerned. This time gets back in his crease again. Just can't pierce the infield here. Good line and lengths. Passon's doing everything he can to stem the flow of score. This time finally gets that gap. And another single.
Someone for the Stingrays is going to have to go big for an extended period.
Barrett's your guy. If he stays in for long enough, he will become dangerous. So I hope they'll be banking on him sticking around for a bit. Zamet just trying to push that one through the offside.
So if it is going to be Josh Barrett, he's going to need to bat without nerve. While these wickets fall around him and dot balls bank up, he's going to have to just have his plan and know when he's going to go.
Again, to point, it's misfielded, so they'll get another run there. Lucky to get that extra single. 6 overs. That's the power play done, and the score reads correctly. 2 for 16 once it updates. It's really unfortunate there for the Stingrays. They've missed out on a good chance to really knuckle down and get some early runs on the board. Stamp their authority on this game. And another bowling change will occur for West Torrens. Ben Williams. See him warming up down the bottom of your screen. Here he is.
Might have another bat change as well.
Geez, not having a lot of luck out there, Josh. Going to get the final gun and more out. You won't see it on your screen, but
I think he wants to break this one over his knee by the looks of it as well.
He's had enough of these bats. He might change sponsor. So as Ben Williams gets plenty of warm-up balls into him, a third bat comes out for Josh Barrett. Hopefully this one gets him some runs.
And wider outside off stump. Zamet just pushes it to deep cover, takes the one. So with the power play done, the field will be spread, so they are going to be able to probably pick up 5 and over, maybe even 6 and over without too much issue if they play the right gaps and just keep it rolling and till the 12th, 13th over, and then go up a gear.
Sorting their fielders out down at long on.
It's played in the onside and the scamper through for one more. So this may play into their hands somewhat. To go at least 6 and over if they do manage to pick up a boundary here and there. And slowly pull in the equation. Zamet just swings that one away behind square. There's your boundary. Straying down the leg side. You'll see it here again on replay. It's helped it on its way down the fine leg. The fielder at fine was far too square. And a much needed boundary was the end result. Cameron comes in again. Down at this time. Goes behind point, thinks about the second. Throw came in quickly and Cameron to continue. 2 for 23. This one's gone for 4 more, so an expensive over here. For West Torrens. Is that equation back to within 26? As in the differential between runs and balls.
Certainly helps now that they can get these boundaries flowing.
And follows it up with a wide.
And the pressure of hitting some boundaries certainly goes a long way now. There we go, I'm back on. The pressure of getting a few boundaries scored now puts the pressure back on the bowler, and he changes up things and does things he's not planned to do.
So they pick up the quick single, so good running. Been a good over so far. For the Stingrays.
End of the 7th.
Hopefully that noise isn't coming through all the way to the broadcast.
Another change of bowling by the looks. Josh Barrett signalling something with his bat again. Not sure if he's just having more issues with the third bat now, but I hope not.
He's going to go through every bat in the change room.
Surely not. He's happy with this one at the moment. Well, he was waving it around to people on the boundary line, so you never know. Daniel Drew, the skipper, comes on for a bowl here. Gets on the front foot, plays it through mid-off. Fielder's back on the boundary, so there's a single there.
Zamet 9, Barrett 14. Drew made 43 with the bat, batted superbly earlier in the day.
Forward defence, straight to cover. Again, maybe the slow bowling, it's been a trend all day. Tends to be the way to slow down this scoring. Well played. Point can't quite stop it fully. Good sliding stop there in the end. Just the one. Eric Carrington doing the work. Long locks out the back of the cap. Is Joel Smith the one with the long hair played for Hawthorn? Bonds is a Hawks fan, he'd be able to nod. Played straight back to the bowler. A little bit of Joel Smith about him from this distance. Oh, Eric. Played through the leg side again. Long on, stops that one. Another single. Just ticking it over slowly. But like you said before, Pickles, they need that boundary. Just every over, there needs to be at least one just to keep up at that run rate of 8 and over required. A few more changes here on the offside. Deep cover on the boundary. Tentatively played forward. Drew stops it. And another good over, 2 for 33 off 8.
Yeah, what they need to continue to do is turn that strike over with the spread field. Make sure they are getting one a ball. And then when the opportunity arises, they do pick up a boundary. Just keeping themselves in the hunt right and up until the last 2 to 3 overs of the match. Again, another change in the bowling.
No, Isaac Johnson to continue.
From the southern end. He's going to change into Isaac Johnson.
And a few pointers here from Dan Drew, just sorting out this field. They've done it so well already. Bowlers have been bowling to the field each and every over, each and every ball. Skip would be very pleased up to this point.
That's a sharp catch at point. Batter's not overly convinced it got there on the full. In fact, he's determined to stay there.
Patrick Fisher, the one claiming it, although we will take another look. He's standing his ground and the umpire's having a small chat.
We're not going to be able to get a shot of it. Well, his first reaction was, I don't know. And normally when that's the case, it has got there in the half volley.
We'll go have a slower look at this one, perhaps.
Be near on impossible to pick this up, I reckon.
Oh, gee. How well can we slow that down, Bonds? Do your best.
Too hard to call. If we can't pick it from here, how are you going to do it on the ground?
He seems to have been given not out by the umpires, so he will remain. But let's take a slow motion look at this. Gee, it looks like it may have bounced. That's a good call in the end. And Barrett had every right to say, I want to stick around.
Isaac Johnson's not overly happy with the end result. Daniel Drew also still asking the question. And not happy with the end result either.
Well, Patrick Fisher wasn't overly elated once he took it. He just sort of stood there with the ball in his hand anyway.
Johnson full. Just work to the leg side for one.
Still on 33 though, or 34. They've been just moving like a snail really on the scoreboard. This is what you expect from the first 5 or 6 overs from a good batting team like they are, Southern. Just hasn't quite been up to scratch today.
This one cut back. I could have point man out there on the rope. Again, keeps it a 1. So important that these two bat deep into this, these 20 overs. Both say they're set now. That one swung high on the leg side. It's going to go all the way for a maximum.
We'll see it again. He's even called for a quick drink after that attempt. Let's take a look. How well's he hit this? Nice. Out of the meat. It's on the road. It's even over the road. It's into the garden.
I don't know how you get that one back. Looks as though the fielder over there has to go outside of the fence. There he goes down the, was it the train access? There's a few collections of players around the place. The batter's in the middle. There's a little huddle out here at point. At 4 or 5 going down the Wayne Phillips Ford car yard to see if it's landed in there.
I was going to say, getting a nice plug on our stream today.
Second ball we've seen on the leg side that's been clubbed away and taken some time to retrieve today.
I'll have a good look for it. Quite a long look last time as well in the West Torrens innings.
What we didn't
One of
really
those-
get to the end of is what is the end result of if they do not find it. Although it looks like they're coming
Get a
back.
new ball, don't you?
There it
There
is,
you go.
found by a non-player. So might have been in his car yard.
So one of the training balls has to come out otherwise.
So the ball comes back into the playing arena. Fielder spread. So just the one fielder used to go and retrieve it. No, there's another one. I thought there was one more missing.
Another one up on the hill, just coming back down after the search party went looking.
A few searching on the outside still, but timely 6.
Back in play.
Johnson this time tucks him up. I'm going to try to cut that one back behind point. It's far too close to cut. Almost was the undoing.
Last ball the over.
Barrett just pushes it to long on. And might look for 2 here. Take the safe option in none.
Probably should have pushed for the second, but nonetheless 9 overs down. 42 for 2 on the board. 129 obviously the target, as you can see. And 88 to get from 67 is the full equation for victory for the home side. Nice little crowd out today. All over on the club side on the left-hand side of your screen. Cameras are based at the southern end of Bice Oval today. Giving you some great pictures live here on Adelaide live stream. Hopefully enjoying the action today. Barrett goes big down the ground. Over the rope for 6. That's what he does best when he gets going. Some good work there from Josh Barrett. Take another look off the skipper, Daniel Drew. No respect. Not quite into the sight screen, but good enough for maximum.
Yeah, this is the reason that these two need to stick together. If they stayed at the crease for long enough, they're going to be able to make up this equation.
Trying to sweep, it's just fallen back in it. Peter's gloves in the back. Thought it might have bounced onto the stumps. Half appeals. A little bit of everything happening there. But a dot ball is what the scorer puts on the sheet. Played it well onto the onside. Just another single. Rotating the strike. Zamet back on. 62 runs in the T20 comp so far this season, just from the 2 rounds, averaging 31. He's been consistent at number 4. Played again to the leg side. They'll get one more run. Just ticking over. So they've got their required 8 off the over there. What do they do from here? Make up what they lost earlier. Another chance of the boundary, perhaps. A lot of fielders on the leg side boundary. Decides to go via third man, not intentionally though. Fielded well in the end by Williams. Another single. Barrett moves on to 33 off 33 balls. And that one, no run, ending the 10th over. We're halfway through. 2 for 49 here at Bice Oval. And the Stingrays still a bit of work to do. 80 runs to get. 60 balls remaining. The crowd's out here to support them. The music's playing. The barbecue's sizzling away. Should be an entertaining finish.
Paint a good picture, Tuggers. These two at the crease at the moment. Just up the rating. Now there's going to be a change at the southern end. I've said it 3 times in a row. Eventually I was going to get it right. It's going to be Pat Fisher. He's going to bring himself into the attack.
Second Sonny's operator with the spin ball. Oh, he's got a large run up for a spinner. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I think you're right. The way that
Keepers
he's
up to the stumps.
gripped that, it's going to be big off spinners. I'll go out on a limb.
Moving his offside field. They're pretty square. So maybe bowling him on a length here.
Length was okay. The line was awful. Was wide outside off stump. Was dabbed down the third man for 2 more. The Fisher again. That one just turned onto the onside. Pat Fisher's going to do his own fielding. Another 1 to this total.
Good quick single there. Smart batting. Where are they going to find their boundary out here? Long on, long off, deep cover, deep point. And deep square leg. Sorry, I missed him as well.
Going to either have to blast it over the, or through that infield, because they've got the in-outfield will set perfectly, or go even one better than that and go over the top of all of them. Zamet got really tucked up there, angling in and leg stump. Wanted to clear his leg to give himself some room, but Fisher just kept following him. This time down the track. It's 1 to mid on. Thought about it again, but good piece of fielding kept it to 1. Good over so far from Pat Fisher, not leaking too many runs. Barrett tries to sweep, can't connect.
Warren Peters having a crack at the stumps there too.
That one wide outside off stump and called wide.
Not flash on that occasion.
This time he does get the sweep shot, gets all of it again. Bounces it over the rope. 6 more.
And into the 40s for Josh Barrett. Taking a look at that. That is right in the spot. He couldn't be more comfortable playing that shot. That's actually gone into the pot plant. Dead set on the other side of the road.
A tidy over up until then. Pat Fisher's overs finish. He's gone for 10 off it. And again, we try to find a ball on the outside of the fence here at Bice Oval. You're seeing all of that action live here via Adelaide live stream. And there's the pot plant. Geez, you've called that well, Tuggers.
Yeah, I saw it go in. I thought, blimey. That's almost hit the ING. What's the old giant ING sign in the One Day Cup? Once upon a time, you get $100. Yeah, something more than that.
I think it was a bit more
Get
than
in the
100.
pot plant. All the different sponsors. 42 now for Barrett. Like we said, he's dangerous if you let him go. He's hit 2/3 of the score now and can quite capably hit the rest if he wants to. $69 to get off 54, definitely in reach. They've been maintaining that 7-8 and over. Drew again. This time Warren Peters takes it in the gloves. The skipper got a little excited at the bowler's end. No edge on it. Played away, vacant mid-on. Gets a single. Wanted 2, doesn't get it.
That's 6 brought up the 50-run partnership between these two.
It's just about to ask how long they've been together. That's good stuff there from these two. 2 for 7 that last wicket, I think, as well. Down the wicket again from Barrett. Fielder can't stop it. Will want the 2, but again, long on comes in and stops the potential of another run. Isaac Johnson helping clean up the mess. Shot. That's over mid-wicket. That's onto the road again. Another ripper. Certainly the results they want right now. And the Stingrays have come to play later on in the game. That was one of the early ones from Barrett. That was a pearler. This one as well. Absolutely stunning batting. Two for 69 now.
Why, we've got a bit of break and play, Tuggers. We saw earlier Ben Toohig bowling for the first time here in Australia. From the Worcestershire First 11. Well, his parents are watching in Yorkshire. They're in bed at 6 o'clock over there. So hello to Sean and Debbie.
Well done.
Sean and Debbie Toohig, so I hope you're enjoying the coverage.
That's outstanding access.
So Ben's first couple of balls, not ones to remember, but in his second over, he picked up a couple of wickets. So,
oh, that's magnificent. 20 years of age, he's a young lad. Made his first class debut this season, and here he is, live streamed all the way around the world to England. And the parents, 6 a.m. in the morning, watching a bit of this. Fantastic. Played away again, onto the leg side to get another run for Zammit. They're really working well together, these two. West Torrens really seeking for answers now. One ball to come in the over from Drew. And another single. Well done from Barrett. The pair combined beautifully that over and continue to turn the screws. 58 runs to win. now for the home side of 48 balls here on Adelaide live stream from Bice Oval.
They'll probably get themselves to a position if they keep going at this rate where it's going to be anywhere from 10 to 15 run last over to win. We'll have ourselves a real tight finish.
Well, these two need to stay in. That's pretty obvious. As deep into this innings as they can. If they can just keep hitting the boundaries here and there, they're right on track. Haven't won a game yet either.
The reverse sweep pays off. Pays off to the tune of 4 runs. So runs starting to flow a little bit easier now. Got into position early and caught it sweetly.
That's classy. That takes a lot of practice to get right and to hit to the boundary. Clearly knows what he's doing out there right now, and he'll be approaching 50, just about there.
This time he launches it. Over long on. 6 more. 10 in 2 balls. He's flying now. And that'll be his 50. Great way to bring it up as well. You can see the shot he's played. Swung it away over the leg side. And this pair has played with patience and haven't got caught up in the run rate. Now batting themselves back into the match. Oh, 3 in a row. Man coming in there, taking the catch. Well, the third one, he didn't get the good piece of it that I thought. Charging in off the rope, you'll see here. Taking a very good catch. I think that's Carrington. Took it on the chest, sliding on his knees, and that is a big wicket in the context of the match.
That's outstanding. And a half hit. He brought up his 50 in some fine style, but unfortunately has to exit the ground. Just didn't quite connect well enough. And Carrington takes a very nice catch out in the deep, came in off the boundary, chased it hard, watched it closely, got down low, and took it on the slide. And the Stingrays faithful give him a nice warm round of applause as he comes off. He'd love to have done more, but they appreciate the efforts because it's got them very, very close now, much closer than earlier. They were in real trouble early. He's brought them straight back into this game.
So just the 48 required now.
Brendan McCormack is out in the centre now, joining Aidan Zammit.
Zammit pushes one behind square. Oh, the run-out opportunity. The throw is bounced up off the grass. Anything fuller or a direct hit, he was gone for all money, even the full throw to the bowler. Zammit this time flays one through the offside, and that's going to go for 4 as well. Oh, Zammit picking up where Barrett left off.
Remarkable, isn't it? They're really firing here so much faster than before. They could probably get this before the final over if they just keep batting like this, especially Zammit. He's fantastic.
This time just defensively pushes to the fielder at cover, ends the over. An expensive one, but a successful one for West Torrens.
Since the 6th over, they've been going at 9 and over in comparison to the 3 and over they did in the power play. Strange that. Maybe it was the fielders inside the circle stopping the free flow they thought they could get. They just couldn't pierce the gaps. Now that there's some space out there, they're playing with a bit more freedom and confidence.
Josh Barrett's innings, 54 he made off 42 balls, including 3 4s and 4 6s.
Well done.
And Zammit out there at the moment, 25 off 27. He's at 2 4s and 1 6, and McCormack is yet to score.
He's on strike now for the first time. Plays away to the short mid-wicket fieldsman.
came together when the score was 7.
Same shot again, this time a little straighter. Finds a single down the long on. They've pulled that run rate back from requiring about 8 not long ago down to 6 again, which is good. That's about a run of ball, which it is, 44 from 41. Driving to long off. One more run there. Looking forward to seeing Spencer Johnson come back on. Logan Paston, they were really good at the start. Again, down a fine leg this time. They're just flicking the little singles here. They'll push for 2 and we'll get that. To 89. Now the Stingrays.
Important role here, Brendan McCormack. Is to keep the momentum that they've got going.
McCormack's been fantastic so far, just rotating that strike just how they want it. Another single, moving to 90. The time, bit quicker, bit more of a dart. That's 14 overs over there. 3 for 90 is the score. On the 39 runs to get. And 6 overs to do it, Pickles.
They've got themselves back into a position that they're not going to be scrambling at the end of these 20 overs. Well, it looked as though they were going to be some time ago when the differential was up around the 20, between runs and balls. Brought about a change in the bowling.
Now Logan Paston back into the attack now. His first figures in his first spell, 1 for 7 from 3 overs. And he got rid of Sean Tanner just for 3.
Brendan McCormack on strike. Charges down. Gets one through cover. Scooting around, doing the fielding is Poynton. Keeps it to 1. Good work to keep it to 1, but bad news is brought Aidan Zammit back on strike.
Where does he go? Fielder's back on the boundary at square lead, mid-wicket, long on, long off, and cover.
Paston drops short. Gets away with it, though. He'll be dirty on himself there. Or Zammit. Probably thought that should have gone over the fence. He's called for a new set of gloves, so he's in for the long haul. That's when he can't beat. And an extra cover as well. Still he's screaming for those gloves.
Won't get until the end of the over, mate.
Can't beat mid-wicket. Good over this from the veteran.
He's getting through it quickly as well. Doesn't give him much time to think. Settle, go again.
Just pushes out to the man there at cover. They take the 1. Good over so far, this one from Logan Paston.
Last ball of the over. It's been a terrific spell.
Down the track goes McCormack. Out to the sweeper here on the boundary right in front of us. One more, ends the over. That's been a fantastic spell. 4 overs.
Yeah, the early wicket of Tanner was crucial. Really got their tails up and kept the Stingrays bogged down during that opening 6 over period, and here come the new gloves. Brendan Drew, a Brendan Drew. Daniel Drew.
He was going to come on. Looks like
I was going to say.
Now he's in. Now he's out.
Swapping it around.
It's going to be Poynton. Lockie Poynton.
And a bit of spin. So the fielder's back at deep square leg, forward point. Long off, long on and mid-wicket. Plenty of gaps around the ground if he wants it. Goes down, tries to play through cover, because that's where the infield is. But it goes straight to him. Flights it up. This time he misses it altogether, comes off his foot and rolls into the leg side. They'll get a leg by. That'll count as a run. It's come off the inside edge, in fact. A bit of luck there for McCormack. Gets an extra run to his name. And Zammit now gets to weigh up the situation. 35 off 28 needed. Likes the leg side, finds a gap. Square leg's pretty straight, so he had to come around. And he keeps it in, so 2 runs to the Stingrays. Game very much alive here, and you can feel it in the crowd. They love it. Cheering on every single run, Pickles. That's well played. But as a fielder out there, drops it, takes it in the other hand. That's a belter. First attempt didn't quite go to plan. Has a second crack at it, takes it in the one juke, and he loves it. And that's a very, very important wicket.
Well, great footage there on the Adelaide live stream. Spilt the catch and diving, went with the ball, took the catch, and the big wicket of Aiden Zammit, who was flying along. So now 2 new batters at the crease, and all of a sudden 7 and over with Aiden Zammit at the crease looked doable. Now 7 and over with 2 new players at the crease.
Matthew Sugg
Is a whole new ball game.
Yes, Matthew Sugg is the new batsman. Zammit out for 29. If I'm correct, the updated scoreboard. I'll get that to you in a moment. But the equation very close now.
Lockie Poynton claims a wicket in his first over.
Poynton to continue. Again, another run here. No, they mix up just like the first ball of the last partnership when they came together. First ball, a bit of a mix-up. They'll work out how they're going to go about it shortly once they have a few balls together. Communication errors, they're not rare. Comes down the wicket, it's high in the air, it's over cover. Fielder comes around, Spencer Johnson is a few steps short. And just the single in the end.
I'll get a second look at that catch as they change at the end of the over. The successful one for West Torrens.
16 overs down for 97. It's a great recovery from 2 for 7 to be 4 down at the 16 over mark and right in the hunt here. Here's another look at that stunning catch out there deep at mid-wicket. Stuffed the first one, grabbed the second one. That's all that counts. Catch taken by Patrick Fisher. He'd love it. He'll be replaying that for the rest of the week. And look who's back. The very dangerous Spencer Johnson.
Yeah, 32 off 24 required. And you bring the big left arm quick back into the attack. His first 2 overs resulting in the figures of 1 for 4. So, ideal man for the job at this stage of the game. Going around the wicket. This one driven through the covers, just the one for McCormack.
This is a great time for Spencer Johnson to come on as well. Sugg is about to face his first ball here. For Johnson to have a brand new bat on strike, he gets to really throw it in hard onto the deck. And he gets to challenge himself in a death situation with 2 overs here. It'll be this one and probably the second last as well, you would expect. Great opportunity for him.
Sugg just bunts it to mid-on. They might look at 2. Just took the 1. Sugg happy to get McCormack back on strike.
High score of 27 for Matthew Sugg in the T20 comp so far, just the 2 previous games. And the Stingrays yet to win one. Gee, they would have been shaking their boots at the start of this innings, but they'll be cheering if they can get this first win now.
Johnson gets that one through to the glove of the keepers. Dot ball's crucial at this stage. 30 from 22. 5 wickets in the shed, still anyone's game. They would love to have had 2 set batsmen out there, the Stingrays, but at the moment it's Matt Sugg who's new to the crease, but on strike, McCormack. It's time through point. Back behind point, gets the 1. And what was a blaze of boundaries and 6s for a couple of overs back while Barrett and Zammit were together has dried up since Poynton and Johnson have been brought back into the attack.
100 up here for the Stingrays also, by the way.
A short cover, no run. Proving very hard to get away, isn't he, Spencer Johnson?
Yeah, that's why he's so impressive. Young lad who plenty of pace, but also knows how to find the areas constantly and puts the pressure on the batsman. Bowls to his field, doesn't go for a whole lot of runs because of it. And look at that required run rate, up to 9 now.
That one a bit wider, gave some width, blasted through point for 4. Boy, did they need that. 104 the score now. First time he's made an error with his line and his length. Certainly in this over.
No, he's spot on. Boy, did they need it, but I don't think it was a bad ball. Really full, right on the toes, but it was just that tad wide, and usually you get away with that, but he's timed it beautifully. And he's just found the gap because there was no one out there at point. So, in the end, a good result for Southern. And Johnson will have to have another little think about how he delivers that really big Yorker, because that one was played to perfection in the end from Matty Sugg. McCormack now has strike. Top of the 18th over. And it'll be the other Johnson at the other end, Isaac. Bowled at the southern end earlier. And he has to come on from the northern end this time instead.
The Johnson and Johnson attack. Trying to close this one out for West Torrens. Well, Matt Sugg and Ben McCormack trying to wrestle it back in their favour for the Stingrays.
Warren Peters, the keeper up at the stumps, also here to be noticed, which is a little bit different.
McCormack has been keen to get down the track, so see if he can keep him inside his crease, but
this time played through mid-on. Will they push for 2? They definitely will. Good running from Matty Sugg. Forces the misfield as well out in the deep. So those are 2 important runs. 23 needed off 17. You bet it's coming down to the final few balls. It's worth watching. That's a short ball. It's played away to mid-wicket. It's short of the fielder who was coming in from the boundary in just the single. Yeah, risky there from McCormack to play out to the side deep where the fielders are all covering the boundary, but knew where to get the bounce.
Didn't get anyone. Didn't get any of it. Did it? Really just chunked it out there.
Probably a good thing too, though. Fielder was there waiting for it. It's long on and long off fielders switch over here. Clearly, they're experts in their area.
They want long off to go wider.
It's bowled, top of off stump. And another wicket falls at a crucial time for Southern District. Isaac Johnson, great bowling. And the 5th breakthrough. Good line length. Looks like it nipped away just a touch as well. And keeps the pressure on the Stingrays as they close in. 22 to get. We might be seeing the Englishman come out to the crease, Ben Towie, if we're lucky. Here he is. He wanders out to the centre. I hope his parents are still watching over there.
Deb and Sean are tuning in right now. Put it, stream it on the big TV and turn the volume up because your son just
over breakfast
might get his Stingrays over the line here.
What if he does? Imagine their household over there in England. They'll be pumping.
He's got 15 balls to get himself 22 runs.
He doesn't have to do it on his own, but that'd make it even better. Big moment. Really big moment. His first game here in the red. And he has to bring his side across the line. How well can he stand up under the pressure? Keeper back. Plays into the leg side nicely. A bit of space between his pad and bat. And he picks up 2 off his first ball. Good start for Ben. 14 balls, 20 runs required.
His helmet almost fell off as he was taking the run. He had to keep that on with one hand.
Wonder if he's borrowing someone else's. He wouldn't have a red helmet perhaps at home.
I wouldn't have thought he would have too many.
I've got the thumbs up. He is. Might not fit.
No, it's he's got the size 8. We should need the size 4. Still not quite comfortable on him.
There he is, having to readjust everything after those quick couple. Plenty fielders back on the leg side. No one really inside the circle on the leg side except fine leg. So he'll keep targeting there as he should. Can he get 2? It's a bit quick to the fielder this time, just the 1. 1 ball to come in the over. And McCormack gets to take strike once more. Will he retain it? Will he get the single here? Field hasn't come in to stop that. They probably should. He plays it hard through cover and keeps strike with a single. Important over. West Torrens did the job, got the wicket, but unfortunately the runs kept coming. 18 runs to win from the final 2 overs. Certainly a nail-biter here on Adelaide live stream. Hopefully you're enjoying it.
So we're only going to need this over to go at least to run a ball, leave themselves 12 to get off the last, or go the other way round and double up in this over. And have themselves a much easier last over, but all of that will unfold right in front of us. Man with the ball in his hand, Spencer Johnson, is going to have a fair bit to say. He's going to continue around the wicket, making it tough for these 2 Stingrays with that left armour piercing in towards leg stump. McCormack on strike. 18 runs to win. First one thunders into the pad and they're going to take off for a single. He's a little Englishman on strike.
McCormack 15 runs at the moment. Not out. Ben Towick just the 3 from his 2 balls faced.
Faces was Torrens big quick. Tries to swing him over the leg. It's a long way across. Johnson can't believe it's been given not out. Leg bite, so no bat in there. Again, they scamper through for another run. We'll have a second look at this one.
Need a good look at this too.
Got a long way across.
Playing across the line always looks ugly.
Definitely when you walk across the line as well. Well, it's all gone. He's at the other end. 16 to win. On full, glided down the third man. Chance for 2 if they hurry. Got there a bit quick. So 15 to win. They've been happy to get through this over without losing another wicket. A runner ball, leave themselves 12 off the last over.
And Isaac Johnson, if he's the one to bowl again, is the one to target.
Tuig try to ramp it back over his own, the keeper's head. Ambitious from the young Englishman, now wants the wide.
Well, you got to ask at this point of the game, don't you? There's nothing hurting in asking.
If he got any piece of that, that was either going for 6 or 4. No one protecting that area behind him. It wouldn't be...
High risk, high reward, though.
Wouldn't surprise me to see him have a go at that again. This time he goes flatter. A fielded at point, chance for 2. Toeig slipped at the crease. Good piece of fielding out there at point. Keeps it to 1 more. McCormack on strike for the last ball of the second to last over. 7 balls remaining. 2 a ball to go for the Stingrays to chalk up their first win in this T20 competition. And I'd live stream bring you all of the action. It's wide, just pushed through cover. Again, no chance of 2. McCormack's going to retain the strike for the last over of the game. They're going to need 13 runs from it.
Well, how about that? How is the setup? 13 runs off the final 6. The home crowd have been here from the start, and they're here right till the end. Great setup, and good that McCormack's kept the strike, and Isaac Johnson will be the man to bowl. He's got his 1 over to come, figures of 1 for 21 in this innings. Taking the wicket of Matthew Sugg earlier. And we could get through this over quite slowly with the field being so important right now. There's the man of the moment. Brendan McCormack. A lot of pressure on his shoulders. Stingrays need their first win here in round 4. Played down the grounds, hit the stumps on the way through. It's ricocheted all the way to long on for a single. It's round 3, by the way. I got that wrong. It's round 3. 0-2, the Stingrays. West Torrens are 1-1. It'll put them in very good stead if they can close this out. 5 balls to go to get their second win of the year. What's Isaac going to bowl here? Toeig on strike. Will it be a Yorker? He plays that ramp shot. It's over the top of fine leg, and it's going to be 4. What a rise to the occasion for the Englishman.
I hope you're proud of your son, Sean. He's prayed the ramp in the last over and given the Stingrays a chance.
That's out of the meat as well. You reckon he practices that?
He's practiced it twice, and the second time it came off.
You bet he likes that shot in the nets. According to everyone else on the sideline, it's his favourite shot.
So he's got him to within 12.
Is he going to play it again? Nah, surely not.
May have created a fielding change.
You have got McCormick at the other end having to give him some words. Now, whether that's settled down, mate, or that is great work, keep it up, we don't know.
Hit the next 2 for 4.
Field is well and truly on the boundary in the leg side. He wants to go reverse this time. Appeals for legs before wicket. It's going to be a single. No bat on it. Leg by's called. 7 to win.
He's faced 5 balls. He's faced 3, and he's played 3 unorthodox shots. But he's coming up with the goods at the moment.
Wonder who his cricketing idol is. Who plays these sort of shots? Glenn Maxwell is the only one I can believe. Imagine if it gets to a super over. 6 to win off, or 6 to tie off 3. Tries the big heave over mid-wicket. Inside edges to find leg for a single. We've now got 6 to get off 2 balls for a Stingrays victory. 5 for a tie. Important conversations now between the 2 batsmen as well as the bowler and skipper. Drew comes in from long off to have a quick chat as well.
So the boundary savers on the rope are at square, deep mid-wicket, long off, deep point, and long on. Now long on's coming in, and finally it's going back on the rope. So they're going to cover up that ramp, the famous Van Tuig ramp shot.
Well, this is interesting. Every fielder on the leg side is outside the circle. So it has to be a ball on the offside, unless they want him off strike. They play over the top. It's high in the air, going to square leg. It's a catch. It is taken. It dampens the mood here at Bice Oval, but Lachlan Poynton stands up when he needs his team to. That's so important. And now it's 6 to win off the final ball. He went for the win off one shot, Pickles. Didn't quite pay off. He wanted to be the hero. He had the making of it. But he comes off rather disappointed.
So Brendan McCormack, they crossed. He'll be on strike. Michelle Khan, the new man of the crease, coming out in the full kit. So he's expecting this one to hit the helmet and to be a 5 and to go into the super over. The under-19 Pakistan player, Michelle Khan, comes in. You wouldn't think he's going to face the ball, but he might be out there for an amazing victory.
Brendan McCormack, real opportunity here to be a serious hero at this club. Everyone back on the boundary. It should be a Yorker delivery. They want to deny every chance. Here it is. Good length. It's down the ground. It's played to long off. A single caps off an absolutely brilliant game of cricket. And West Torrens get the win in the West End T20 Cup match. And they win in absolutely entertaining style, no doubt about that. A pretty evenly balanced game across the board. And well done to both sides. They had a real crack. The Stingrays in serious trouble early, but they came back hard. And West Torrens did the job at the death to hold them out. And the target of 129 was just that little bit too far.
Yeah, we said at the break of the innings, 128 will win. It won't know until the second side's batted and bowled on it. They did so. It was enough. They defended it beautifully. Stingrays gave it a real shake. As you said, just couldn't quite get the job done. They can be well proud of what they've done in the field. West Torrens away from home and chalk up another victory. Unfortunately, Southern Districts, it's 3 losses in a row for them. West Torrens won their first, lost their second. Now they've come up with a win. So that is just about all from us here at Adelaide Live Stream in this second set of coverage from the West End T20 Cup live presentation. Thanks to the Saka as the helicopters come in to close out proceedings here, Tuggers.
Yeah, it's been an entertaining day, no doubt about it. The women's game was fantastic. And in the men's, 4 runs was what West Torrens managed to hold on by. And this is the next matchup here on Adelaide Live Stream's coverage of the statewide Super and West End Premier League 2020 Cup matches. Sturt versus Kensington back at Price Memorial Oval. We can't wait for your company then. 10:30 first ball for that one. That'll be the girls' game, and the men at 2:30. We can't wait for your company next Saturday. Thank you, Pickles, for joining me today. And
Pleasure.
Thank you to Paul Bonser in the background, who's done a fantastic job. Dave, who's been here scoring for us all afternoon from Southern Districts, and the rest of you tuning in all around the world here on Adelaide Live Stream. From us here at Bias Oval, it's goodbye.